Saturday morning when I wake up getting to do a college football game. I mean, I just like am the happiest person ever.
What's going on, guys? Nathan Labarta here with Lambo Media, and in this segment, I'm joined by a very special guest, Taylor McGregor. She covers college football as well as the Chicago Cubs. First and foremost, Taylor, I really appreciate you coming on. How have you been doing during these disastrous times?
Well, thanks. It's a life of adjustments. I feel like in 2020, just kind of trying to adjust to some of the new things that we're dealing with at work, but. Yep. I'm thankful to have a job and to be working during this time, and there's been some positives to come out of this craziness, so I'm just trying to focus on that.
Yeah. So what kind of did your day-to-day look like as far as sports coverage go before the MLB resumed after a long-awaited wait?
So before, you mean during the shutdown, what did my day-to-day look like? Yeah, so not a whole lot going on. It was a lot of Netflix and chilling.
Yeah.
I was down in Arizona for a good part of the shutdown, and then we came back to Colorado for like June before I moved out to Chicago. So we did have daily shows called Cubs 360 on Marquee, but I wasn't on those every single day, so it just kind of depended. It varied how often I was on it, and whenever they asked me to be on, I wasn't super busy, so I could just hop on. But other than that, just tried to find a little bit of a normal routine during everything. Luckily, in Arizona, it was so nice down there still. So I took my bike. I'm a big into cycling, and so I rode my bike a ton, which was awesome. Got to, sit by the pool that wasn't really, there was nobody allowed in it. So it was kind of socially distanced. I don't know. So yeah, it was different, but
yeah, most definitely. So you covered the Colorado Rockies before you had the opportunity to cover the Chicago Cubs. How beneficial do you think that was for you? To cover a solid Colorado Rockies team with players such as Nolan Arenado and Trevor Story.
Yeah, it was a great experience. 2018, my first year with them, they were a really good ball club, and they were in it with the Dodgers until the very end. So that was so exciting for me to jump in, and immediately you're covering a team that is chasing after the pennant. And there's nothing better than September baseball when the team is in it. I mean, it was just so much fun, and the players were awesome to me. I'm thankful for, them welcoming me in and allowing me to annoy them with interview requests constantly, but they're a fun group. I love that organization. Obviously, Denver is an incredible ballpark, so getting to go there every single day for work was great. And then I love being in the NL West. I mean, you get to go out to San Francisco, LA, San Diego. I mean, it's an awesome division to be in. I loved that season, the competition with the Dodgers. We went there twice in September that year, and the electricity in Dodger Stadium, it was the most fun I've ever had covering baseball. It was a blast. So, yeah, I'm grateful for that experience for sure.
Yeah, for sure. What would you say your most memorable moment was of covering the Rockies throughout your stint with the Rockies?
There's a few that stick out. Of course, everybody always asks me about the walk-off, the Trevor Story walk-off going into the All-Star break against the Mariners. That was a fun one for me, the Gatorade bath. But it was fun because of how well the team was playing. And then, like I mentioned, those series with LA in September, those were the highlights. It was so much fun going there. And, they have a sold-out crowd, 70,000 fans. I mean, it was wild. And like we mentioned, the team was in it. The Rockies were in it. I think we ended up getting swept the second series, which was not ideal, but it was still just so much fun being there for sure.
Yeah, most definitely, Taylor. And there's obviously a lot of new guidelines this season, given the fact that there's a global pandemic and everything going on right now. What new adjustments have you had to make this season, given the fact that COVID's going around and all of that type of stuff?
I think it's a lot of creativity and trying to find ways to tell intriguing stories without having direct access to the players, because I feel like my job as the reporter is to bring information that nobody else has, that I get simply based upon my proximity to the players, being down there in the dugout, and then the relationship that I have with them. And this year I don't have any of that. So
Yeah.
it's challenging to come up with unique stories and, find something that is appealing and interesting to fans. So it's a lot of social media and a lot of trying to reach out to people away from the ballpark, which is new. So I'm still learning. I still feel like I get frustrated because it's hard to come up with content, but
Yeah.
that's okay. It's just this season, hopefully, and then we'll kind of get back to more normal things moving forward.
Yeah, most definitely. And to kind of transition away from that, what did the journey of Taylor McGregor kind of look like before you had the opportunity, with the Colorado Rockies, with college football, and with the Chicago Cubs as well?
So I went to college at the University of Arkansas, and that was an incredible experience because they're in the SEC, and at the time, they were constantly on national television, and they launched the SEC network when I was in college. So I got experience when I was still a college student, and I got to meet so many of the reporters coming in for games every week who I got to shadow and learn a lot about the business.
Yeah.
And then I always call myself a professional intern because I think I had like 8 internships throughout college. So I was just constantly trying to learn and in a variety of ways. That was college football. That college football has always been my passion, and especially being down there in Arkansas, you just have the proximity to that was huge. And then baseball is what I grew up with. So I interned in the summers covering baseball. So that was kind of the experience that I had. But really in college, I just tried to fill myself with as much knowledge as possible. And everybody would always say to me, "Are you sure you want to get into this business? It's incredibly cutthroat and competitive, and you have to have thick skin." And so I tried to build that a little bit in college, just trying to identify the kind of person I wanted to be in the business and build upon that. So I don't know if that answers your question properly, but
Yeah, most definitely, Taylor. So like I mentioned earlier, you not only cover the Major League Baseball, but you also cover college football, like you were just touching up on. What made you kind of want to diversify yourself and cover both sports?
Yeah, so college football really has been my passion from day one, and I got into the business. I had watched Carissa Thompson, Alana Rizzo on Fox Sports Rocky Mountain at the time, which broadcasted the Rockies, and they were some of the first females I saw in the industry that I thought that would be really cool. But I'll never forget watching College Game Day every Saturday, and we grew up huge college football fans, and so for me, there was nothing more exciting than a Saturday in the fall watching college football and seeing women on the sidelines there. I was like, all right, that's what I want to do. And then going to Arkansas, you experience it every Saturday. So that to me was a no brainer. And then baseball, I've always had a deep passion for baseball because I grew up around the sport, but that I wouldn't say is necessarily why I got into the industry. So to caveat off of that, my first opportunity at the network level came in baseball, but then I always kind of had my eyes set on wanting to do college football, and then I got the opportunity last year with ESPN, and it was a dream come true for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. And to kind of stay on that topic, Taylor, what would you say you enjoy covering more? Is there one in particular that you enjoy covering more?
So they're so different. I get this question all the time. The thing that's cool about baseball and my job with the Cubs, my job with the Rockies, was you become so ingrained with one team. So you know more about that team than anybody else, and you know the players personally. You feel like you're a part of the team because you're constantly there and constantly around everybody. And I love that aspect of it. I love, traveling with the team and just being ingrained with one organization. That's really fun. And and baseball is an everyday sport. So you kind of wake up and it's what you do every single day. And then what's special about college football, like I mentioned, is the event aspect of it. So you spend all week preparing, and then it's this big event on Saturday. And every Saturday morning when I wake up getting to do a college football game, I mean, I just am the happiest person ever. And I'm just filled with excitement and joy. And because you spent all week preparing for it, and I'm not saying I don't get excited to do baseball, but it's just a different type of feeling because it's not the everyday sport like baseball is. So that is really fun. And then it's fun too because you get new teams every week. So you're constantly, meeting new players, meeting new coaches, getting to see different college towns across the country, which has been a blast for me. So they're very different. I think one thing I really enjoy about college football is the stuff that I bring to the broadcast is unique to a reporter because, like, my bosses at ESPN always say, make yourself worthy on the sideline. Tell us something that only you know down there. And so I take that and with a lot of pride of trying to, hear stuff that coaches say or hear stuff players say or, be right there when a guy having an injury gets off the field so you can give relevant information. Okay. So that part's really fun. I mean, the games always just fly by because you're so consumed. And then baseball is not as much, the access that you get in the dugout isn't as relevant, I would say. Like, a lot of your stuff is more pre-planned, which is special in a different way because it lends itself to more lengthy storytelling and more personal stories. So I don't necessarily know if I have one, that I like more. They're just very different, and I'm thankful that I get to do both.
Yeah, most definitely. I think that's awesome how you were able to diversify yourself into covering two sports rather than just one. And let's wrap it up with a quick rapid fire, if that's okay with you.
Let's do it.
And to kick it off, favorite sports moment that you've covered in your career thus far?
Oh gosh. Favorite moment. Ooh. The Cheez-It Bowl last year was really fun. That was probably a highlight. I'll say that.
Okay. Favorite food?
Favorite food. This is so weird. Artichokes. Artichokes are.
Yeah. Favorite MLB player?
Well, he's not really. He was signed a minor league deal, but I'm still gonna consider him a big leaguer because he hasn't officially announced his retirement yet. But Carlos Gonzalez.
Okay. Favorite thing to do outside of covering sports?
I just love doing any sort of activity. I'm a big biker, so I love to bike. I love to hike. I love to be outdoors. I miss the mountains every day. So, yeah, just being outside.
Okay, most definitely, Taylor. I really appreciate you coming on and taking the time out of your day to make this happen. And best of luck in the future, and we'll for sure stay in touch.
Hey, yeah, you too. You're a rock star. I'm so proud of you. 16. I was not this organized at 16, so you're way ahead of the curve.
Thank you. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys go check out Lefty Swag Bats. I promise it'll be super beneficial to all of you. The link to both their Instagram as well as their online shop will be in the description box below. They have amazing products such as baseball bats to improve your bat speed as well as your visual skills. Not only that, but they also have a ton of dope apparel, including these dope hats, as well as some other miscellaneous baseball accessories to improve your game. Once again, that's Lefty Swag Bats. The link to both their Instagram as well as their online shop will be in the description box below.